Hi everyone, my name is Anna Blaga. We are health and social care students and we will talk about for all this. My team member is Norman, Doris, John, Amilcar, and Vasilika. We are going to discuss in this order is definition, causes and risk factors, impact and individual and society, and evidence-based approaches.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. My name is Abdullah Rahman. I'm going to talk about definition, the importance, case statistics, and the current policies of autism. Autism spectrum syndrome is a lifelong neurodevelopment condition. It affects how a person can communicate, interacts with others, learns, and experiences the world. People with autism may have difficulties with social communication and understanding. Autism is not a disease or mental illness. It's a difference in how the brain develops and process information. Autism is an important in public health and social issues in the UK because it affects a significant proportion of the population, according to NHS England 21st September 2022. Autism has a major impact on individuals, families, and communities, making it a key priority for health and social care services. Uh, Key statistics. Key statistics of autism spectrum syndrome. According to NHS England, 12 February 2026, it is estimated that 1 to 2% of the population in England is autistic, meaning that more than 1 million people across the UK are living with autism. The UK Parliament 15 January 2025 reported that supporting autistic people in the UK cost approximately 28 billion pounds over the past 2 decades. These costs includes healthcare, education, social care, employment, support, and the impact of families and carers. The highlights that significant economic and social impact of autism and the importance of investing in early diagnostics, appropriate support services. Current policies for autism spectrum syndrome in the UK. The main policies that support autistic people in the UK includes is Autism Act 2009, the first disability specific law in England. It requires the government to develop and regularly update an autism strategy to improve diagnosis, support health service, and social care for the autistic adults. Equity Act 2010 is protects autistic people from discrimination in education, employment, and when assessing services. It also required organizations to make reasonable adjustment to meet the needs of autistic individuals. SAN, Special Education Needs and Disabilities legislation, is ensure that the children and young people with autism receive appropriate educational support and reasonable adjustment to help them achieve their full potential in their schools or college. NHS has a long-term plan. It commits to improve autism services through their early diagnosis, better access to specialist support, reducing waiting times, and more personalized care for autistic people across England. Now I'm going to pass it to my friend who is elaborate more about the critical analysis. Uh,
Um, my name is Doris Chinyama, and I'm going to discuss the causes and risk factors that come with autism. There is current evidence, according to Hodges et al. 2020. The most common cause, there are many causes, however, I'm going to talk about three, three main ones and additional ones if I come across them. Uh, the main causes we want to talk about are genetics, prenatal brain development, and prenatal factors, and environmental factors. According to Hodges et al., genetics accounts for the most robust and replicated evidence in studies comparing twins who share 90% of their genes shows that they are more likely to have autism. There's also a growing scientific consensus that shows that autism is linked to neurodevelopmental condition, which originates from fetal life before behavioral symptoms, and this is supported with a lot of evidence, like I said. And the other cause is the environmental ones. So environmental causes, these also come due to environmental factors like pollution, which affects the when the mother inhales any substances that are not agreeable with the fetus, and that can cause autism. So, what causes the autism to go into the risks? So, autism comes with a lot of risk factors, which I'm going to discuss. There are many risk factors. However, I'm going to talk about the risk factors that I'm going to talk about: diabetes, nutrition, and medical exposure during pregnancy. So, according to studies, autism can be caused by many factors to do with medication, and this is has been linked to autism and has resulted in either children are born with autism or they portray autistic signs. So this is linked to their family history, and so if someone is taking some medication which can affect the pregnancy, during the developmental stage, that also can account for autism. Another one is another risk factor is a paternal age. It is believed that the older we get as human beings, we are bound to give birth to autistic children. Therefore, it is advisable that we check our age before we, instead of leaving it late, to prevent autism. And also another factor is the low birth weight. So any babies that are born before the full period of gestation are also bound to be linked to autism. So what does this say? So in summary, the recognized factors of autism include family history, genetic makeup, and other health exposure. So how can we prevent this? So this can be prevented by mothers ensuring that they've got good access to good health to ensure that the unborn child is not affected. Also, the critical takeaway from here is that the risk does not only equate destiny. So most most autistic individuals have no identifiable risk factors, but individuals with risk factors are not autistic. Therefore, these risk factors should be interpreted with caution, free from framing, and use clinical guides to support the monitoring rather than predict or attribute causes. So, with the causes, our takeaway from the causes in conclusion, while we cannot change an individual's genetic makeup, identifying prenatal environmental factors that interact with genetic risks opens up the door to potential preventative strategies. For example, managing maternal blood sugars in diabetic pregnancies and ensuring adequate nutrition and also access to good health will prevent uh, infections through vaccination will be more meaningful intervention to prevent autism in individuals, particularly those with family risk. So I hope this helps to understand a bit of the causes. There are many, but those are the ones I focused on. And I shall now pass it over to my colleague who's going to discuss more um, into the research and evidence that exists regarding autism. Over to you, Joe.
Thank you, Chupam. My name is Joe dos Santos, and I'll be talking about the research made on autism. Many research has been done, obviously be focused on the two main ones. According to the American Psychiatric Association in 2022, they view autism as a spectrum of various conditions, various difficulty in cognitive ability, language skills, sensory processing, and life experiences. This research strongly supports the early identification and intervention, multi assessment, family-centered care, educational adjustments, and an intervention that is designed for the individual autistic person. Another line of research, however, sees that autism is a result of not just one single cause. This line defines autism as being a result of an interaction between genetics and the environment. Okay? This line of thought also explains the findings from the genetics and neurobiology, and this is supported across multiple disciplines, and is consistent with the family and twin studies. Further ahead, I will look at the different points of view. Again, there are many points of view, but I will focus on the two main ones. There's one that is approved by the medical model. The medical model sees autism as a neurodevelopmental disorder that is obviously characterized by differences in social communication and restrictions in communication and cognitive behaviors. This model emphasizes the need. This model defends the need for early intervention and co-occurring and support need to improve health and communication. Critics to this model, however, although they agree that the model is positive, they defend that this model might overemphasize the deficits of the autistic person whilst overlooking the strengths and abilities of the autistic person. On the other hand, we have the neurodiversity movement. The neurodiversity movement, again, it sees autism as not disorder, as an illness. Instead, it sees autism as a variation in human neurology rather than a disease. Okay? So the line of defense of this neurodiversity model is that the challenges faced by autistic people, in fact, are derived of the way society has been built by non-autistic person. What does this mean? That means that the autistic people have their own way of seeing things, and the way we non-autistic have built society makes life difficult for autistic people. So this model defends that we should do more to help autistic people. Some families and clinicians, however, agree that this model, although they do recognize some benefits of it as well, they do agree that this model might overlook some need for a much deeper intervention in those cases where this person needs treatment. As a result of these two points of views, new research has adopted a bit of the medical school and a little bit also of the new development model. And new research has moved away from seeing autism as a disorder that needs to be cured, and is being focusing more on the need to give autistic people more independence and more insertion in social life. This is me. I will now pass on to my colleague.
Thank you. My name is Amilcar. I will talk about how autism impact in the life of the individual person or person who is diagnosed with autism and his family. Person diagnosed with autism basically depend of person, but basically person stay with the limitation and sometimes a person is, how can I say, can be exclusive of activity, social activity, because difficult in communication, ensure is what to think, what is idea, because he developed some barrier to don't like to show what he think, what he want to do, and basically this person sometimes discrimination and they have a lot of difficult involved do activity with another person, but individual person. Autism don't affect only the person diagnosed with autism, but affect the family or person who involved or person take care of this person is affected with the autism because the life of family change because the family will start take care of this person. His privacy become restricted. They develop new skill or new skill. How take care of this person. How go out, for example, to activity in community because this person need the program activity. Be careful because the service user or the person with diagnosed with autism sometimes don't have a conscience what to do. It can be aggressive, it can be anxiety, it can be stress because the mental condition or his clinical condition. In this situation, the family can be affected finance, developing stress, develop chronic disease, because it's not easy to take care of a person with the autism. person medically develop new condition to support the services in this case. Um, NES try develop some activity to reduce or to help the services in person with autism, like reduce the time to wait for some analysis, some achievement in hospital or GP or pharmacy, but it's not enough. They need to develop more activity to help this person to solve with this kind of disease. Okay, do my contribution about autism affects the life of the person and the society. Okay.
Hi, my name is Vasilika, and I'll talk about evidence-based recommendation and key findings, summary, and conclusion. Evidence-based recommendation. Early diagnosis. Early assessment provide access to education, therapy, and support. Personalized support. Adapted, adapted support to individual communication, sensory, and learning needs. Mental health. Provide autist-friendly support for anxiety and depression. Family support. Give parents information and training to improve family well-being. Key findings, summary, and conclusion. Autism is different for every person, so each person needs their own assessment and support. Finding autism early and giving support as soon as possible can improve communication, daily life skills, and quality of life. Early assessment, the right support, help at school, family support, and mental health care can improve long-term outcomes. The best support is personalized, focused on the person's strength and matched to their individual needs. Healthcare professionals should use treatment that are supported by good research and avoid treatment who do not have strong evidence. That's it.
So,